Hello guys, Felix from Domino Chinese here. You probably know me, but what you might not know is that we've recently released a new platform that is website and app. We've optimized loads of things. We've also added loads of new features. So now I think it's about time that we go through the whole website in and of itself and go through all the different features and how you can use them. Please enjoy. Now note here that I'll go through all the features and what they look like on the website, but we have all the same features on our mobile app as well. Now first of all, I'd like to cover something that we still don't have by the time I'm recording this video, but we will have it very soon. It's a customizable study schedule. You'll tell us then either how much time you have or what you'd simply like to achieve, and then we will tailor a study schedule for you and tell you exactly what you need to learn at what time so you can reach your next level with your Chinese. So let's start with this now. I've actually got my little computer here, if you don't mind me looking at it. It'll be a lot easier to actually just go through the website together with you and not having to memorize the whole thing. So let's start with this, the lesson view then. This hasn't really changed very much. For every lesson, you'll have the vocabs for that lesson, and you'll also get the words and the grammar points given to you right below here, as you can see here as well. Now moving on to the video player, everything here looks a bit more neat, I'd say, but we've also added comments, okay? So now commenting on videos, whether that be asking someone a question, saying something, or simply replying to a question, that will later on collect points for your user, which we'll talk about later on. Now after every video, you get a video quiz based on what you've just learned. If you pass that one, you can proceed to the next video and learn new things. It usually just requires that you have a bit of common sense or that you've simply just listened to the last video. So yeah, that shouldn't be very difficult indeed, unless you were sleeping. Then at the end of the lesson, we'll actually put together all the quizzes together from every video. We'll put them together and we'll call it a lesson quiz. Make sure that you do that one as well, because then you've definitely made sure that you've learned everything and that you've retained everything that you've learned in the last, I guess, sort of 30 minutes. When you pass that lesson quiz, the lesson will count as passed as well. If you feel like you already know a lot of Chinese and you want to short track your learning experience here, you can simply just go directly to the lesson quizzes instead, where if you pass a lesson quiz, the lesson will count as completed. Now one thing you'll notice about Domino is simply how much content we have. I've actually measured a little bit online, and I can't find any other major course online in any other language that has this much content. That is lovely obviously, but it also shows that not just you are devoted to the course, but we are so as well. But it also means that we sort of need to divide everything more than usual because, yeah, there's simply so much content. So I'd like to just go through the hierarchy here just to give you an idea of how everything works and how everything is structured. Now, everything starts with a video. And after about 20 or 30 minutes of videos, I guess about 10 to 15 videos, then we call that a lesson. Now moving on to the next concept, levels. Every level has 20 lessons inside of it, which we realized probably might be a little bit many. So what we did then is we split those into chapters. So 4 lessons is 1 chapter, and then 5 chapters would contain 20 lessons. So that would just simply be 1 level. So a level could either be 20 lessons or 5 chapters. That's all the same to us. By the way, after you finish a chapter, we'll take all of those words that you've recently learned from those 4 lessons inside that chapter, make a little story out of it, and read it to you. And that's a perfect way to practice exactly what you need to practice as well. We call those texts story time or story time with Wang, and we've actually even made a book out of it because we have so many chapters. So 1 level is 20 lessons, and that is about 10 hours of videos. And then at the very top of the hierarchy, we have a course. A course could be many different things. We could have short courses or long courses. We have slang courses, survival courses, calligraphy courses, KTV courses. I meant karaoke for those who don't know enough Chinese just yet. Now we also have our main course. We have 2 main courses. The first one is the fluency path, and that is 10 levels. And then we have an advanced path, which picks up where fluency path left off. And by that time, you should know enough Chinese to actually only understand Chinese when we speak it to you. So advanced path will actually only be in Chinese for the whole course. And that is also 10 levels. But it doesn't stop there. We still have HSK 5, which is another academic Chinese course, which you can take as well. And that covers a lot of HSK level 6 as well. HSK, for those of you who don't know about it, is like a Chinese proficiency test. It's the standardized one. And with all of this, we have a lot of integrated little supplementary materials. We have a course book, we have vocab PDFs, we have a lot of worksheets that you can use to practice writing characters. We have all the building blocks, we have everything you'll ever need. We also have integrated Pleco dictionaries with all the words you'll learn. We're also collaborating with Skritter so you can get a promo code and get their services much cheaper as well. Now, once you finish watching a video, you should move on to the review section here, specifically the flashcards. Now, you see every video here is tagged with different characters and different words and different grammar points actually as well. So now you've learnt a video or you finished watching a video, and then the words from that video will appear as new words in the flashcards. Very exciting and very, very advanced, I think. Now here you can change the words to showing them in English or showing them in Chinese and answering in the other language. And after you get a flashcard, you get to answer if you knew that word and how well you knew it. You get 6 different options, which all count towards an algorithm that we made. If you say, yes, I remembered it very well, and that was the first time you saw that word, then it'll come back in about 2 weeks. If you say you didn't know it at all, it'll just come back in a few minutes. Now the next time around, if you still say that you knew it perfectly, it'll come back in 2 months. And the next time it'll come back in 2 years. Our flashcard algorithm works perfectly. So all you need to do, you spoiled student, is just to show up to the flashcards, hopefully every day, and just practice whatever the flashcards tell you to practice. That's it. Now, like I mentioned, some of the things that I'll cover in this video will not be here just now, but it will be shortly. So hopefully by the time you're watching this video now. So a few more things we're looking to do with the flashcards is give you the audio and then make you guess which word it is. Another option to practice here will be to simply write the character, and then we'll match that with our database and say, well, that was good, or you need to work a little bit more on that handwriting, don't you? By the way, when I was a learner myself, I used to use Skritter quite a lot. So I wanted you to get the same treatment, actually even better, because attached to this video or also attached to our study resources page, you'll be given a discount so you can start, well, a very cheap journey to perfecting your handwritten Chinese knowledge. So if you're looking to do so, make sure you hit that little promo code either here on the study resource page and you'll be happy. Now, as you might have noticed, all the words here actually have references to our dictionary. Our dictionary is quite normal and quite standard. However, it has a few additions. Now, currently we don't have sentences, but by the time you're watching this, we probably will have. Now, what our dictionary does exceptionally well is that you remember that every word you learn is tagged to a video. That actually also means that you can reverse the process. So if you're looking to learn a specific word, we will simply give you the video for that, so you can go back to that specific video and just learn that specific word. Excellent, no? It's so great that I call it the integrated Domino dictionary. We have to squeeze in the little domino wherever we can. Now we also have our word lists, and currently we only support HSK because that's the most common one, but later on we'll have more word lists as well. HSK is, like I mentioned earlier, the standardized Chinese proficiency test, which I hope you can take at some point to prove how fantastic you are. Now we have word lists here as well, and currently we're only supporting HSK, the standardized Chinese proficiency test, but later on we'll hopefully be adding many more word lists as well to your liking. So say now, for instance, that you want to pass HSK level 1, then what you need to do is just go to our word list here, select HSK 1, and then you can see all the words and characters that you need to learn for that specific test. What's even better here is that since we know exactly what words you don't know and which words you know, we'll simply mark all the words that you've already studied so you can simply see which ones you still have to learn. So if you're looking to straight up pass a Chinese proficiency test, just make sure you come to this word list and short track everything by just looking at it and saying, oh, I need to learn this and this and this character, and then I'm done. And also, clicking any of these characters will also give you a little entry in the dictionary where you can actually go to the main dictionary and see sample sentences and so on and such as well. Now let's move on to dialogues, one of the most exciting things that have come out of Domino recently. And by the time you're watching this, there will be about 1,000 different dialogues on this page here, ranging from easy to difficult in difficulty, but also ranging from any topic that you can imagine. Then you can listen to any of these dialogues. You can either just listen to it with the Chinese characters, you can also add the pinyin, or you can add the English translation as well alongside with that. Now you could obviously just read any dialogue of your choosing, but Domino doesn't stop here because we have an even better feature here. Remember that by every video you have watched, we will know exactly what words you know and which ones you don't. So out of our 1,000 different dialogues, we will now know that, oh, this guy knows exactly the right words for this dialogue. Then we'll recommend it to you. So you just simply have to keep on learning through our main course. And then once you're ready for any of these 1,000 dialogues, we'll simply recommend it to you and send it to you. And all you need to do is just click play. And then you get a chance to practice exactly the words you need to practice as well. I simply love this feature and I just wish I had it when I was studying as well. So yeah, basically we're delivering your review session to your doorstep. I hope you'll enjoy it. Now another feature that I'm hoping we can offer soon, hopefully again by the time you're watching this video, is live synchronous learning in smaller or in larger groups. This simply means that in addition to our platform, we'll also be giving you a teacher who you can practice and review everything with. If you're more interested in this, I suggest you go to our study resource page and have a look at that as well. Now I'd like to leave the learning and the reviewing part of the platform and move on to this, our very active forum. Here you can meet all our lovely students. You can ask and you can answer any type of question. You can just talk to yourself and practice some in Chinese. Now for every video you watch, every quiz you pass, every action you make on this wonderful platform, little or big, then we will count those towards points that you can amass. You can later on go to our leaderboard here, where you can compare yourself to other students. You can watch their profiles. You can also collect badges on your profile as well, showing how much you've done for yourself and how much you've done for this community as well. Now, since all of our students already have a profile, it's not too far away to just add a portfolio as well. And this is one of my later on projects that I will just want to share with you now. Hopefully it's already on the platform like so many other features. So this then means that if a Chinese employer comes and says, for instance, he needs a doctor who speaks this much Chinese, then we'll go through our database of users and we'll be able to match their needs to our users and say that, well, this user is a doctor, he or she just needs to pass this level of Chinese, and then we'll give him to you. That way, their demands can be met and we can give you a job once you've invested in our platform as well. This is one of those features that just makes me so excited that I can't even sleep when I start thinking about them. So basically, the idea here is that you come to us, you invest in us, and we will give you a job as well. Not a promise at the moment though. Hopefully we can make it a promise very soon though. Now last but not at the very least, we have our blog written by Mr. Very Talented Dan. I read these ones, I guess, once every week at least, because that's how often they get published. Dan writes about anything China or Chinese related, and I can't stop recommending these blogs. They're truly interesting indeed, yes. Please have a look. Yeah, and that's it. A pretty lengthy tutorial indeed, but that's just because we have such an ambitious little platform here. My vision here when I started Domino a few years ago was to take everything that a student, like my former self included, would need and just put it into one platform. So any student here wouldn't have to go around the whole internet finding and picking and choosing different resources and trying to puzzle them together themselves. This is simply the way to go, and I'm also so happy that we can offer all of this at a very accessible price. Thank you very much for taking your time and watching this video. 谢谢收看 and I'll be sure to see you very soon. 我们下次再见，拜拜。